Raw's women's division has been stacked with talent on top of talent on top of talent on top of talent. They've been the most consistent source of quality for WWE this year. And they've really been the standard bearers. They've been the bar setters for work rate wrestling in WWE in 2025. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why Raw's women's division is so good and what goes into everything that makes it what it is. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's hop into this video. So Raw's women's division has really elevated itself ahead of every other facet of WWE programming currently. It is not only an effective division, storytelling-wise and wrestling-wise, but it is a productive division on so many levels. It gets talent over, and it is a very, very productive anchor for Raw when it comes to TV matches and when it comes to stories that they can center their show around. It is very, very reliable in that sense. And again, they've elevated themselves above every other facet of WWE programming currently. They've elevated themselves above the main event men. They've elevated themselves way above SmackDown. I mean, it's not even a competition, really. The Raw women are just head and shoulders above everyone else in WWE. So how did we get here, though? What steps were taken to get to this point where Raw's women are so comfortably ahead of anyone else and everything else happening in WWE? I'm curious, and when I was making this video, I was curious to kind of rack my brain and see what those steps were, kind of see where they've been and how they've gotten to where they're at. So, in my opinion, you can trace back the productive prioritization of Raw's women all the way back to Liv Morgan in 2024, when she was really starting to climb her way up the division and starting to be prioritized as a marketable figure and as a figure that WWE can sink their eggs into and really invest in. Liv Morgan was seen as that person for them, and that's where you can trace this kind of reinvigoration of Raw's women's division back to, in my opinion. Rhea Ripley helped elevate her to that spot, and there was a concerted effort on behalf of Triple H and on behalf of creative to get Liv Morgan up to that spot. Obviously, I don't even have to mention the work that Liv Morgan did to elevate herself up to that spot. So just all around, I mean, perfect, nearly perfect. The feud went way too long, for sure, but it was very productive. It was very effective in what it accomplished. And it's where you can really trace back the current trends that WWE has adopted when it comes to their Raw women's division. It's where you can trace all that back to. Now, those trends and all that effort that they put into Liv Morgan and elevating her, that has only been built upon this year with stuff like Lyra versus Becky. Now, the Lyra versus Becky program started at WrestleMania when Lyra and Becky teamed together. Bayley was taken out of WrestleMania, and it was later revealed that Becky Lynch attacked Bayley, and that would obviously set in motion the Becky Lynch and Bayley feud over the summer. And then the next night on Raw, after Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria teamed together at WrestleMania to beat Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, Becky Lynch turned on Lyra Valkyria, and that set in motion the summer-long feud, the summer-long program of Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, which was incredible. It was incredible. It was really WWE's biggest triumph in 2025. The best thing they've produced all year was Lyra and Becky on so many levels. They obviously had the match at Backlash, which was incredible, and then they had the match at Money in the Bank, which was terrific. Now, why were those matches so good? I think it was because they cared about what they were doing. They really cared enough to put in the effort and to put in the work to elevate themselves above anything else on that show and on the shows that they were featured on, because their matches really came across as just differently flavored. They really came across as matches that hit differently. They hit your senses differently. It came across as a bit of a shell shock when you watched them, because they were so different and they were so work rate heavy. But it felt like there was so much effort and care put into everything they were doing. And that really came across in both of their pay-per-view matches. It really came across that they wanted to elevate. They wanted to be better than the men, and they wanted to be better than the other women on the card. They really communicated a sense of urgency and a sense of hunger in those matches that I really appreciated, and I know a lot of people really, really appreciated. So why is that feud so great? Well, it's great because it's productive on a creative level. It's productive in the sense that Triple H and team, they know what they want to do with it. They have good intention behind it. They know exactly what they want to get out of it. It's productive in that sense. But it is also a feud in which the women involved care about what they're putting on TV. They care about what is going to be seen by the people, and they care about the results of the feud. Becky Lynch actively wants to make Lyra Valkyria a bigger commodity. She actively wants to make her a bigger deal, and that is heavily conveyed in the segments they have. It's heavily conveyed in the promos they do and the matches they have. They care about what is going to come of this feud. They really do care about wanting to elevate the other, specifically Becky Lynch. See, she has a very good habit of going underneath the hood and finding women, finding different parts to fix, and finding different women to elevate up to her level. And that's no different with Lyra Valkyria. I'm pretty sure she did it in NXT. She went to NXT, and I don't watch NXT, so I can't comment on that. But she went to NXT, elevated a few women over there, lost. I think she lost. I could be wrong on all that. I don't watch NXT, like I said, but I'm pretty sure she went to NXT. And she elevated several women over there. She really did her thing. She tried to bring women up to her level. And that's because she's unselfish. That's because she cares about what she's doing. She cares about what comes of the program she's put in. And this Lyra Valkyria story is truly no different. Becky Lynch cares about what she is putting on TV, and she cares about who she's working with. That's why this feud works so well. So on a creative level, it works. There's good intent behind the feuds, and the women involved care about what they're putting out. But let's talk about the two aces of this division, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. These are seriously two of the best women's wrestlers going in the world. There are a lot of very, very talented women in the world. Obviously, in AEW, Mercedes and Toni Storm and Sarii in Japan. But these women, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, have been true central figures, true central aces for WWE, for their women's division. They have been tremendous all year, and even before this year, they've been just off the charts. So Raw's women's division obviously has layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of talent, and they are the top layer. They are at the tippy top shelf of all of it. They are above everyone else. That is no shade on all the other women who I put below them, but these women are just better than everyone else. I'd even put them maybe slightly above Becky Lynch. Maybe slightly. Maybe just a little bit, okay? Although Becky's great. Becky is great. Why are they so great? What do Rhea and Io add that is so important and just absolutely invaluable? Well, Io and Rhea add a sense of big-time star power and must-see factor to this division that has not been achieved in any iteration of WWE's women's division ever. I mean, I don't think there has ever been any iteration of a WWE women's division that has seen this type of big box office women be featured in this type of way. This type of women's wrestler has never been achieved in WWE. The type of women's wrestler that gets Stone Cold Steve Austin like pops when they come out. The type of women's wrestler that is stupid over with the fans in every single city like Io Sky. Something like that has never been accomplished in any women's division WWE has put forth. And this is the best example of box office stars in a women's division in WWE. It is truly something that they should be proud of. It's something Rhea should be proud of. It's something Io should be proud of. And it's something WWE should be proud of for elevating them to this level, for getting them here. And like I said, Rhea and Io should be proud of it because they got themselves here too. It's not just a one-sided effort. Truly two of the best women's wrestlers in the world, two of the biggest box office women's wrestlers in the world who are worth every penny. Absolutely worth every penny. So it is a productive division that has laid the groundwork and the foundation for women like Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria to get in stride and get going and find their footing. It is a rock star division with women who are off the charts talented and who are stupid over in every town. These women have so much to be proud of, so much going for them, and so much potential down the line. I'm so excited to see where Lyra goes, where Roxanne goes, where Rhea ends up in several years. Io, all of them have just such bright futures, even the women who are not considered young. Even they have bright futures and bright potentials. I am so excited to see where they can take this women's division, what they can do with it. I said it in my last video that they need to double down on this women's division. They need to heavily feature these women in bigger ways. They need to prioritize them. They need to, even more than they already are, and they need to put them in high value, high effort stories, high art stuff like the Bloodline almost, with thought out dynamics and stuff that really keeps you wondering week to week what's going to happen. They need that, right? They need stories that really have a degree of hard thought put into them. That is something that would be eternally appreciated from people like me who follow this product closely and who watch it every week. The women are so talented. They have so much going for them. And it would behoove WWE to double down on everything they have and everything they've built, because they have so much going for them in Raw's women's division. They are truly WWE's most impressive triumph in 2025. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate your time if you made it to the end. If you enjoyed it, if you agree with any of these points, or if you disagree, no matter what, please do leave a like and subscribe. If you got something out of this video, I would really appreciate it if you could do that. That would mean so much to me. It would help this video get seen by more people. It would help my channel grow, and it would help my channel and this video get better favored by the algorithm. The algorithm is it's a tough beast, so I would really appreciate if you could help me out against the algorithm. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in my next video. See you.